Hi, I'm Erin Madsen with 300dpi.com by DCWV. Ask any digital scrapper and they'll probably say that they're addicted to brushes. At first you may feel a little overwhelmed by brushes, but once you know how they work, you'll love the dimension that they add to your scrapbook pages. Let me show you how I use brushes on a layout using the new kit from 300dpi, Monticello. This is a layout that I have that's pretty much done. It uses the 300dpi Monticello kit, and it's a really fun kit. I love the brown and blue and red colors that they use and love the sophisticated prints. It's just a really fun kit that I think is really versatile too. So looking at this layout of my fat pug Jack, you probably think, okay, it's done, but come on, let's move to the next layout. But I want to show you how adding a brush effect can really, make that ooh and ah at the end of your layout that can really make people notice it. So first I'm going to show you how to load a brush. So we're going to just open up the brush that you have saved wherever you downloaded it. This is a brush that I downloaded from a 300dpi brush kit. And looking at it, you probably think, okay, Erin, that does not match your layout, this pink and green. But I'm going to show you, some fun things that you can do with it. So now that we have it open, you're going to click on your brush tool in your toolbar right here and go to Edit and Define Brush Preset. Okay, this is where we're going to name our brush. I'm going to name it Flourish and click OK. So automatically it puts it into our brush palette, which up here is all of our brushes that I have, all the ones I've downloaded and saved, and it's the one at the very bottom. So you're just going to click on it, and when you go on your layout you have this little ghost, so you can know exactly where things are going to be, where it's going to go. And I kind of look at it kind of like a stamp. So if you click your tool once, it's going to stamp the icon that you see. So whatever color you have in your foreground box is the color that it's going to be stamped in. So I want to stamp in this cream that I have the photo mat as. So I'm going to click on my color picker, click on that cream, and as you see it was moved to the front. And also it's important to make sure that every time you stamp a brush, that you're stamping it on its own layer. I'm going to explain kind of why once we have them stamped, but first of all I'm going to go down to the bottom of my layers palette and click on my create new layer. So I'm going to have my layer 8 right here, and now I think we're ready. So I'm going to go back on my brush tool. A great resource is going up to Window and Brushes, and I love having my brush toolbar right here because it gives you lots of different ways to change the look of your brush. So okay, to change the size you're going to play with this diameter, and as you can see 400, it's a pretty small flourish. So I'm gonna, oh, there's 2000, that's pretty big. So I played around and I want about 1500. And as you see, that's kind of about the right size that I want for the corners of my layout, well, corners of my photo that I'm going to stamp in. If you change this flip X and flip Y, you're going to horizontally and vertically flip your brush. So you can kind of play around and see the different ways to flip and flop your brush. So I want to make sure I got my layer set and I have my color set, so now I'm going to brush. So the first one I'm going to do up in this corner. This looks about right, and I'm just going to click one time. And there I've got this awesome cream colored light flourish. I'm going to do one on the bottom corner, so I'm going to flip it this way. I kind of just play around with it until it's how I want it. Okay. So it's going to go here, but I want to make sure that I have a new layer again. So I'm going to go down here, create new layers. So I have a layer 9, and then it's going to go just about here. I love how it kind of overlaps onto the paper and the photo. If I wanted to change the angle of my brush, this circle right here, I would just kind of click on the side and it will change the angle of it. You can kind of just play around with the flip X and the flip Y and the angle to get it exactly how you want it. There's so many different things that you can do with brushes, really. I mean, there's just, tons and tons of different things.
Okay, so I have these. Now I'm going to show you why we put them on our own layers. So if I click on this layer 8, this is my first brush, so I can move it around exactly where I want it. So if I didn't, want to play around with it, I can. Ooh, how did that happen? Okay, this is a great way to show my history. Somehow I got an extra brush in there. This is my history window. To get it, you go to Window and History. I always have it out because you can go back to exactly where you were before you made your mistake. Okay, so there I was, but right in between here I stamped another one on accident. So the history window is awesome because, if you've gone too many steps and you can't undo something, this is a great way to get back to where you want it.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to join our Facebook and Twitter groups by searching DCWV. That way you can stay up to date with all of our latest news.